Hello and welcome. I am Silas Nzawi, and today I will talk to you about how to establish file and folder level permissions on Windows 7. Now, in many cases, especially when a computer system is shared, you will need to change permissions that a certain group or individual user has to a file or folder on the system. For example, if I choose to share a folder in Drive D in my computer such that users from other computers in the network can have access to, then I'll need to create a new folder on Drive D with the required permissions for all those users. The type of permission I give to any single user will determine how much access that user has on a file or folder. I could decide to give a user full control over the file or folder. That is, they have access, they have the ability to change files and folders, create new ones, or even run programs in the folder. I could give them access to modify the file or folders. They could be able to read or execute programs in the folder, or they could just be able to read or write to the folder. Now I will show you how to create a folder and configure it with the desired permission levels for different users. To create a new folder in the desired drive, which in my case is Drive D, all I need to do is click on Start menu, then click on Computer. Now from this window I'll click on Drive D, which is the shared drive, where I can create a new folder by clicking New Folder on the menu bar. Now enter the name of the folder. Let's call this folder Finance. From here I can now configure the folder with the desired permissions. When working with permissions in Windows 7, you'll be required to work from the Properties dialog box. This dialog box for the file or folder you are working with can be accessed in a few steps. So since you already have the folder, all you need to do is right click on the folder and select Properties. From here you can click on the Security, from where you will be able to grant access to a file or folder to other users. After creating a new folder, or even if you will use an existing folder, you will need to determine who will have access to it. Also, you need to keep in mind that by default, the same persons who have access to the parent or original folder also have access to the new folder, and vice versa. The following steps will guide you on how to grant access to a file or folder. Now, to grant access to a file or folder, that is from the Properties dialog box and the Security tab. Click the Edit button. From here, click the Add button to add a new user. Our user's name is guest. We enter it here and click on check names. There we go. Then we click OK. Now, once you have granted a group or individual user access to a folder, you will need to set permissions for the new users. When you set permissions, you are specifying what level of access a user has to the folder and the files within it. Now be careful. By checking the Deny button for any permissions, you override any related to the Allow permissions. Folder permissions can be changed only by the owner of the folder, that is the person who created it, or by someone who has been granted permissions by the owner. If you are not the owner of the folder or have not been granted permission by the owner, all checkboxes will be gray. Therefore, you will not be able to make any changes until the owner grants you permission. To modify permissions through the Properties dialog box and the Security tab, click the Edit button. In the Group or Username section, select the user you wish to set permissions for. In this case, our user is the guest. And now we can check the appropriate permission levels for the user. I think this is okay for this user. When you're through, simply click the OK button and click the OK button. Then that's it. I hope this video has been informative for you. I would like to thank you for watching.